Welcome to the Know, I'm Ashley Jenkins. Somehow we missed the memo, and yesterday turned out to be Trailer Monday. In addition to getting new glimpses of Fantastic Beasts and Suicide Squad, we were also treated to debut trailers for Gears of War 4 and a teaser for Titanfall 2. The Titanfall 2 teaser didn't exactly offer us a lot in terms of what to expect from the game, except for swords, which is pretty cool. The Gears of War 4 trailer, on the other hand, continued the tried and true Gears trailer method of remixing an old sad song and setting it to maximum heartstrings. The trailer featured Marcus Phoenix, Anya, and their son, who seems to be returning home while on the run from the game's new enemy, the Swarm. If Simon and Garfunkel isn't enough to get your blood pumping, well, Microsoft also released a video of a ridiculous execution with a new weapon from the game, the Drop Shot. And hey, the multiplayer beta is in less than a week too, so you can finally get to that next gen curb stomp and fix you've been waiting for. Think it'll be Bran this time? The Gears hype train may be kicking off, but the Quantum Break hype train still at maximum speed, with the new game breaking records? Possibly? At least that's the official word from Microsoft, who've announced that Quantum Break is their biggest selling new IP of this generation. Lots of caveats there. This comes from Xbox Studios Senior Category Manager John Eddy, who says, "It's a testament to the hard work, ambition, and commitment of the team at Remedy that the game is already surpassing expectations." Alright, so this sounds super impressive on the surface, but when you consider that Microsoft's only new IPs this generation are Sunset Overdrive, Rise, Scream Ride, and Zoo Tycoon, which isn't really even a new IP, well, the bar wasn't set so high. The game is getting reviewed pretty well overall, but sporting a 77 on Metacritic, so we'll just have to see how well it sells for them over time once the spin is gone. Yesterday also gave us a brand new Game of Thrones Season 6 trailer, along with some news about an unlikely diehard fan of the show. According to the show's producers, President Obama gets advanced copies of Game of Thrones before the rest of the world does, which is kind of a big deal when you consider that they have opted not to send out early press copies ahead of the season premiere this year. Speaking at the show's Hollywood premiere over the weekend, producers David Benioff and D.B. Weiss said that finding out Obama was asking for early screeners was the moment they realized the show's made it. Benioff said, "When the commander-in-chief says, 'I want to see advanced episodes,' what are you gonna do?" Clearly they haven't been watching their own show, because they could have just pulled a Littlefinger masterminding action on this one and killed everyone. Marvel certainly seems to be holding the Iron Throne of movie making at the moment. Early reviews are already coming in for Civil War, and so far they've been overwhelmingly positive. Oh, this was a coincidence today. These reactions to the movie have also given us a little bit more information about Spider-Man, who appears in the film more than initially thought, apparently. With Civil War looming large, Marvel is in full-on universe-building mode, and they also dished out some Infinity Wars tidbits for us over the weekend, because you can't just look forward to the movie that's about to come out, you have to look forward to the movie that's going to come out after the movie that comes out after that, or something. According to directors Joe and Anthony Russo, the two Infinity Wars movies are going to have really different feels despite being filmed at the same time. They also teased that while Civil War is laying the major groundwork needed for Infinity Wars, the two-part Avengers movie will feature up to triple the characters seen in Civil War. So if you thought Age of Ultron got a little bit messy, just wait. It's doubtful that the Green Goblin would appear in Infinity Wars, but that might not be the case in real life anymore. Zapata Racing, the makers of water-based hoverboard-like devices, unveiled a new hoverboard prototype over the weekend called the Flyboard Air. The water-powered device ditches the hoses and propellers we've seen on other similar devices and can maneuver over the water untethered, which means everything Back to the Future 2 taught us about the hoverboards and water, total bullshit. In the video, founder Frank Zapata does his best Green Goblin impersonation, taking the Flyboard Air out for a spin that's pretty impressive. According to Zapata Racing, the flyboard can go for 10 minutes at an altitude of 10,000 feet, up to 93 miles an hour, which feels way too fast for not being protected, but I guess motorcyclists do it all the time. Those last two seem really, really dangerous to me anyway. At the moment, Zapata Racing won't say what is powering the device, but we're going to assume it's because they stole from Oscorp. Speaking of ill-advised creations, Texas custom handgun makers Precision Syndicate modded a working Glock to look like the original NES Zapper. Oh, cool. Awesome gun stuff comes out of Texas. I like it. The gun, which admittedly is really cool looking, immediately sparked outrage from people who worried it could be mistaken for the toy. See, sometimes people think of the children. Not often, but sometimes. Think of the children. The volume of response from emails and messages got so overwhelming, apparently, that the manufacturer had to release a statement assuring everybody that this was a one-off custom build and wouldn't be entering any kind of mass production. They ended the message with a little bit of snark for their critics, saying, "Oh, and please, keep your guns locked up and away from children. It's common sense." With 1 unit sold, it's safe to say that this new device probably already passed sales for the Virtual Boy. So take that, Nintendo. I had that one Virtual Boy, by the way. Nothing can beat the type of money that Riot's making on League of Legends, and now they've erected a monument to themselves off the coast of Australia. As you do. The company just installed a statue of League of Legends champion Nautilus on the ocean floor. No, it's not some sign of hubris on their part. It was actually the final reward of Ocean Week 2015, a League of Legends event that saw players from Oceania servers participate in challenges with sea-themed heroes. For smashing the final reward tier, contributing players got to have their names engraved on Nautilus, who will now become an artificial reef for tons of marine life. Oh, you can do good and also put statues of your game in the ocean. It's nice. Riot released a pretty epic video of the statue hitting the ocean floor, and they've even put out coordinates so you can find it on Google Maps. So years from now, when whatever new life form inhabits Earth finds this thing, they'll wonder if it's a monument to some sort of god or hero, and the answer will be no. Video games. In more amazing news from the ocean comes SpaceX. They successfully pulled off their first ocean landing this week. The company launched its Falcon 9 rocket into space, brought it back down on a floating drone ship in one afternoon, marking the second successful landing for the craft. Its previous attempts to land at sea have always been a little bit more, explodey. But hey, good job getting it down this time, guys. Good improvement. As for why landing at sea is such a big deal, it mostly has to do with the amount of fuel a rocket can save on its return trip. Trying to turn the rocket around after its trajectory and coming back to a specific land-based target is a lot more fuel intensive than just heading down towards the ocean where a drone ship can position itself for the rocket. SpaceX expects to land about 2/3 of its rockets in the ocean, so mastering this is a huge step for the company's ambitions. They've mastered water and earth. Next up, they'll have to learn to land on fire and ice. Then they've got everything, right? All the elements. That's how science works. That's your Tuesday roundup, everyone. We'll be back on Thursday for more news about Marvel, Nautilus statues, NES, handguns, and more, assuming more stuff happens about those before Thursday. To get more of all that kind of news, remember to like this video and subscribe to the Now. Good? Take that, Caden. I did good. You're not gonna have a lot of bloopers to work with. Ha! That's because I had my coffee this morning. Not too Texas, son of a bitch. Go back a little bit.